come on in.
Hi, Jake.
Hey, how you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm Mark.
Mark.
With Salesforce.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you. How is your day going?
It's pretty good. Pretty good morning. I'm ready to start the day strong.
That's great. What you got going on this weekend?
Probably spend time with the family.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good. Family time's great, man. So I respect that.
Sure is.
Well, I do want to respect your time just as much as I would Jeff. The agenda that I initially laid out for him was about 15 minutes.
I actually only have 10.
Okay, that's fine. Let's make it happen in 10 minutes.
Okay.
We can definitely do that. So, by the way, is it okay if I take notes?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, and here's my business card. I do want you to be able to reach out to me in case if you need me, but I will be in contact with you.
Okay.
But as far as the agenda goes today, pretty much the same stuff I want to do with Jeff. I want to hear a little bit more about 5.
I apologize for that. He had to actually step out of the office and do something important, so he asked me to step in.
No, it's quite all right. I appreciate that. I hope everything's okay with him.
Yeah, everything's good.
But no worries, as long as we can talk about Salesforce, okay?
Yep.
So I do want to hear a little bit more about 5, you guys' background, learn a little bit more about you, and find out if Salesforce is a good fit for you. Does that sound okay?
That sounds good.
Okay, and is anyone else, I know Jeff isn't able to be here, but is anyone else relevant to sit in on our meeting today?
No, it's just gonna be me, actually.
Okay, and if you like what you see with Salesforce and everything else we talked about, are you in the position to be able to make a decision?
Jeff did give me the authorization to make a decision if I do like what I see. So,
Okay.
We'll just see how it goes.
Well, is it okay with you if we go ahead and continue on?
Of course, yeah.
Okay. Well, Jake, tell me a little bit about the current systems 5 is using.
So the current systems we are using are Excel, we're using QuickBooks, Outlook, Gmail, stuff like that. And we're using all of these to do our day-to-day business on and to communicate with our customers and amongst employees as well.
What do you like about the communication? I know you just mentioned communication between customers and clients. What do you like about how that process goes?
The communication is fairly standard. I mean, obviously a phone call followed up by an email. But I really did like how when we first implemented the systems, everyone got to use whatever they wanted to use. So it was fairly cheap as well. But in regards to communication, everyone was happy with using what they were familiar with.
Okay. So could you give me an example as far as what the flexibility is of these platforms your employees are using?
The flexibility is like, when we bring somebody new on, I allow them to use whatever platform they want to use. So I think the learning curve is very short because people are already comfortable with what they're using.
Okay.
So everyone just jumps right in.
Okay. Well, do you see this being a little less effective for the company, having the flexibility that you're offering?
I mean, it works for all of them. It just maybe doesn't work as well for me.
Well, I do want you to see a benefit in potentially letting go of some of these platforms and putting things into a more centralized platform
Okay.
where everyone will be able to contribute. Do you
Explain a little more what do you mean by centralized?
Yeah, sure. So centralized as far as, this still being a very flexible process and us being able to implement one system for all employees to be able to simultaneously contribute to.
Oh, so everyone would be on, just say, one of these platforms.
Exactly right. I do assure you that, we're looking at about a 2-week training period for this.
Okay.
And
That's fairly good.
Productivity will increase with this platform. I do want you to see the benefit in that. Do you see 5 having a benefit?
Well, when you talk about centralized, will everyone be able to, input their own information, and then I'll be able to see?
Of course, it's not going to affect anyone. You'll have a real-time update.
Oh, real-time, okay.
So it's, have you ever used Google Docs before?
Yes, I have actually.
Very similar to Google Docs as far as the timing that goes into that. You're not going to have a delay, about a 1-second delay, if anything. Okay?
Okay, well, when you talk about the benefits of a centralized system, that makes a lot of sense to me because Right now, everyone has to put their own information into their own platform, and then they have to relay that information to me, and I need to put it together, and I have to spend, quite a bit of time putting that information together and then giving it back to them. So if you're telling me, they can input the information themselves and I can see it, that's gonna get my time back? Is that what you're saying?
It'll definitely save a lot of loopholes that sounds like you might be battling. Could you tell me a little bit more about, that process of having to transfer data and get it back to your employee?
Yeah, after they input their information, like on a daily basis, they send it to me, and Jeff has asked me to put all the information together.
So there's no one else in position to?
No, that's me. Yeah, that's my position. So, having something where it could, cut down on the time I'm spending putting the information, I'm interested.
What kind of time are you having to devote to this?
Like 5-6 hours a week.
5 to 6 hours a week?
Yeah.
That's like 36 hours in a month.
Yeah, it's quite a bit of time.
Okay.
So when you say the people who are able to implement the information themselves, it's kind of interesting.
So how could it help 5 be more efficient with this process?
Well, definitely for me, I could be spending those hours doing something else. I could be more efficient, doing other jobs. And even the employees or the salespeople, they don't have to wait for me to get the information back. So if you're saying it's a 1 second delay, everyone can see all the information simultaneously, like you said. If that's even possible, I didn't know that kind of system existed. So apart from Google Docs, but something on a bigger scale, I definitely see a benefit to that for the company and for myself, personally. Because I'm a real person, I still have my daily life.
Of course, no, I totally understand. You were just waking up, a couple hours ago, right?
Yeah.
So, well, 36 hours is a long time, and I do want you to see a benefit here as well, improving this time, so that we can get you, potentially those 5 to 6 hours back, and put that into more productivity elsewhere, or help monitor your salespeople a little bit more.
Yeah.
So, do you see a benefit in trying to alleviate that kind of item?
Of course. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's recap over a few things. Does that sound okay?
Yeah.
Okay. You did talk to me about Excel, QuickBooks, and Outlook. Those are the systems and platforms that you guys are using, and it's been flexible. It's been easy to implement because everyone has that knowledge, right? There's nothing new that they have to learn. This has also been cost effective for you as well. All this sounds like it has led to some communication inefficiencies.
Yes.
Is that right?
That's right.
Okay. And it looks like you're wanting to improve that as well. The other thing we briefly just talked about was you're spending personally 5 to 6 hours. As much as Salesforce might sound good for you, it's also going to help the company as well, so that you're not having to get around any kind of issues with getting information back to the customer from your employees.
Yeah.
So if I can alleviate these things for you and help you be more productive, would considering Salesforce and viewing a short demo be okay today?
You're gonna give me those 6 hours back?
And I will do what I can to help you guys out. And that's what Salesforce will do.
All right, let me see it.
Let's take a look.